And now on the line is Eunan McKinney from Alcohol Action Ireland. Eunan, welcome to the programme.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, Eunan, it doesn't feel like it, but it's nearly a year since we spoke last time on radio, although I've done a couple of other interviews on the Public Health Alcohol Bill since then also. Can you tell me what is left in the process of the bill, the Public Health Alcohol Bill becoming law, and can you tell me if we have any idea as to when the bill will be completely legislated for?
Okay, where the bill is currently at is that it is currently before Dáil Éireann, having passed all stages in Seanad Éireann earlier. It completed all stages in Seanad Éireann in December 2017 and is currently in Dáil Éireann for debate and consideration by the deputies, and it has just completed third stage, which is committee stage, and that was taken by the Select Committee on Health last Wednesday week, and it completed its considerations on that and passed the bill to the next stage, which is report and final stage, which will be taken in the House hopefully early in the new Dáil session of the autumn, which will be commencing around the 16th or 17th of September. So from that point of view, it has some ways to go yet before it is finally completed, before it completes all legislative process in the House, in both houses. Then it will go to the President, obviously, for signing, and we don't anticipate any particular difficulty in that context. So, given the fair run, it should be enacted by the President by sometime in October, thereabouts. And we'd like to anticipate anyways, and hope that it will be done before, maybe before the budget, which will be sometime in early to mid-October.
That's great news. Yeah, when was the bill first published again?
Well, the bill was agreed agreed by Cabinet in October 2013, and the bill was published itself in December 2015 and introduced to the Upper House in December 2015, which at this stage is now well over 900 days ago. And by the time the bill is actually passed and enacted, it will actually be well over 1,000 days since it would have spent in the House in terms of legislative consideration. So it's a very, very long time, and as you know from our discussions in the past, that there has been significant resources deployed to put obstacles and prevent this bill really progressing, and in that context it is regrettable, but that's simply the way the process works.
I was just going to ask you about that. It's true to say, isn't it, that the bill has been watered down a bit, hasn't it already?
Yes, there has been some significant elements of the bill as it was originally designed that have been diluted, but also there's been significant aspects or initiatives that would have been considered earlier in the process, way back when Cabinet gave its approval. Some of those considerations were not pursued because of pressure that was applied, like we'll say sponsorship of sport by alcohol products. That was a consideration that was likely to have been considered, but has now since been dropped once it was published in 2015. And there has been significant dilution of the measures around making products in stores less visible. And in that context, there was a significant battle conducted by the retailers, sponsored by the industry, the alcohol industry, essentially, to try and dilute those measures, and they were somewhat successful. But we still retain some very significant measures, nevertheless, and none more so than the fact that what is currently a mirage of self-regulatory voluntary schemes will be no longer in existence once the bill is passed, and we will replace that with a proper statutory footing in relation to a regime that allows accurate inspection of compliance with the law.
Can we expect any more changes to weaken the bill, do you think?
I think that there will be endeavours to do so. We need to be mindful that there is still vociferous opposition to many aspects of the bill, and it is quite likely that industry will continue to do the level of lobbying that they've already been undertaking, and so we'd be mindful that there are some measures within the labelling, for example, whereby citizens will be informed of have an increased awareness around the risks associated with alcohol, that they could be further diluted. But as I say, we would hope that won't be the case. And there are some other aspects where derogations or exemptions may be pursued for some particular aspects of industry. But again, I think that, on the wide scheme of things, the fundamental architecture of the bill remains intact, and we're very optimistic that will be the case.
I won't keep you, Eunan, because I just wanted an update from you as to where we stand in relation to the progression of the bill to become an act. Just to finish up, can you tell our listeners the best way to support the work yourselves and others are doing to tackle alcohol abuse and alcohol addiction in this country?
Well, I think the main thing that people can do right now, again, is that, we know that this government is moving to a point of where potentially there may be a general election sometime maybe next year, and we know that TDs are active in their constituencies and they're actively seeking the support of constituents at the doors and at events across constituencies, and therefore, people have a general interaction with their TDs on a daily, weekly basis, and what we would ask is that people continuously reinforce with those TDs the need for this legislation to be passed, that it still isn't passed, to tell them that it hasn't been passed, to tell them that they're still being influenced by big alcohol and the alcohol industry in relation to obstacles been put in the way, and that really they should get on and pass this bill and do something about the situation that's leading to 3 people dying today, tomorrow and every other day, until such time as we do something about this.